everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today's video is perfumes of the last decade. I was inspired by Paulina Shah's video where she spoke about top 10 perfumes of the last decade and she shared what she wore each year. So I thought of doing something similar. So if that's something you're interested in, please keep watching. And before we start, I would really appreciate if you would consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And remember to press the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. So I thought this was going to be quite easy, but when I started to recall what I wore each year, I realized how much I had forgotten. This was quite a busy decade for me. My kids were born, and if you are a parent, you'd know how that impacts your memory. Also, it was very hard for me to just pick 10. So I think I have maybe about 15 or so. So I have obviously picked perfumes that I really like, and also these are perfumes that I have repurchased. I think all of them have been repurchased except maybe 2 or 3 of them. And I will do my best to mention the year, but like I said, things are a bit foggy. But given that I have repurchased them and I also have used them quite a bit, as you will see in the bottles, I do believe these were most used. And I also have some memory associations which I will share with you. So let's start. First up is Bulgari's Petit et Maman. Earlier in the decade I had kids, so I didn't wear much perfume during that time. And the only one I wore was this. It is alcohol free and it's supposed to be safe for kids. And I think it is a fragrance for children, for their sensitive skin and for babies. Of course, I didn't put this on my babies, but I did wear it myself quite a bit when I really missed wearing perfume. This is a really gorgeous baby powder kind of fragrance. It smells like babies, it's very powdery, it is chamomile, it's very soft, very relaxing, very calming. I think that's why it's made for mothers and babies. I'm amazed I still could find this one. But this is a dabber, so there's only so much you can use. And I didn't want to use a lot of perfume. I would just put maybe 1 or 2 dabs and that's it. And this was enough to satisfy my perfume cravings at that time. Next was 2011, and I believe this is the fragrance that I wore. This is Acqua Allegoria Mandarin Basilic. This is a fragrance I wore throughout summer. It was so hot and this was always so amazingly refreshing. I do have a backup bottle of this one. This is a very sweet mandarin orange fragrance, but it doesn't get too fruity sweet. The basil in it keeps that in check and makes it quite herbal, very easy to wear. It's an easy grab. And I think this was the first fragrance that got me into fruity fragrances. I still am not very fond of fruity fragrances, the ones that tend to be very sweet or very juvenile. But this one I still feel is very wearable, and I don't think I smell like orange or orange juice. It does smell quite sophisticated and refined. And during the same year, I had also got this one. This is Acqua Allegoria Bouquet Numéro 2. This I picked up from Paris. Our luggage had not arrived. And of course, I couldn't be without perfume, especially not in Paris. And so I bought this. It's a beautiful, beautiful fruity floral fragrance, more floral. It's got a lot of rose, other flowers, and it always reminds me of an Indian wedding with tuberose and roses and a bunch of flowers. So this one has been discontinued, but it was brought back under different names. I believe it was called Rosa Fizz, which I also have, and Rosa Rosa, which also I have. And I hope this one never gets discontinued. And I think this one and the Mandarin Basilic are the 2 of my favorite Acqua Allegorias. And I hope and wish that they will always remain in production. Moving on to 2012, I wore Houbigant's Quelques Fleurs quite a bit. It is such a classic. Princess Diana wore this on her wedding day. And it is also the first perfume to have different flowers, all so well blended that not a single one stands out. Absolutely gorgeous, guys. It's still so modern. I don't think it smells vintage at all. It's a very sweet green powdery fragrance, and I think it's perfect for spring. Moving on to 2013, I wore Jour d'Hermès. Now this was love at first sniff, very different from the usual perfumes at that time, I think. That was the time I think the sweet perfumes had started to emerge, and I didn't like them back even then. This one is a very fresh, crisp, green, sweet, but slightly bitter, citrusy fragrance. And I absolutely loved it. It's a very sparkling, luminous kind of a fragrance. And I was so thrilled to have something from Hermès. And I love the bottle of this one. The name of the perfume is written on the side and you can see it through the glass, so you can imagine the quality of the glass they've used. It's really beautiful and a gorgeous fragrance. I think moving on to 2014, I got Acqua di Joie. This was a gift from my husband to me. I wanted this fragrance and I loved this fragrance for such a long time. I finally got the big set. And I remember at that time the kids were quite young, so we used to go out to the park quite a bit. And I loved wearing this. This was my easy grab fragrance, very refreshing. And I remember we had bought our first home around that time and we were getting some work done. And it was a long way from where we were renting. And I was the one supervising all the work. I was the general contractor myself. And so this used to really cheer me up and help me, because if you've got any work done ever, you'd know that it's not easy getting work done from others, and especially with labor. They have issues, the material is not right, they want to take leave, or they're smoking in the house and all kinds of things happen. And I remember I used to wear this one, and whenever I would sniff it, I would feel calm. You know, all that craziness that was going on, the deadline that was not being met, we had to vacate, but the house was not going to be ready and all of that stuff. So I used to smell this and it relaxed me. I felt fresh, I felt rejuvenated, I was ready to take them on again. And this one I also continue to wear even now. I have another bottle. This one is a summer staple. It's very minty, it's sweet, it's aquatic, very, very refreshing. I think this one and the Acqua Allegorias, if I have just these three fragrances, I think I'm covered for summer. Moving on to the next year, I got Chanel Chance Au Tendre. At first, I didn't like it enough to buy it. I thought it was too fruity. But at that time, I remember I'd gone up to visit my brother and also celebrate my birthday. And he took me to the tulip and lavender fields. And it was during this trip that my sister-in-law was wearing this perfume. And I also borrowed it from her and wore it. And I fell in love with it. It became my summer perfume and I wore it to work. This is a very pleasant, polished, inoffensive, long-lasting, uplifting, cheerful perfume. It's a beautiful, easy grab, and it's also a bit flirty. And although this is fruity, but the pink pepper keeps it very interesting. A very pretty fragrance, and I think anyone can wear it regardless of age. So those were the fragrances I wore mostly during the summertime. But for the winters, I would reach for Shalimar from Guerlain. This one, you know guys, is my absolute favorite. It is such a beautiful fragrance. It's a classic. This is, I think, going to be 100 years old this year. I think there are two dates. It's either 1921 when this was launched or 1925. I don't remember, but yeah, close to 100 years, if not 100 this year. And it is still in production. It is still being sold for a very good reason. It's because it is such a beautiful fragrance. It's not for everyone. Some people think it's too old, too dated, but I love it. It is quite smoky. It's animalic. It's sweet. It's citrusy. I love the opening. I love the dry down. I love everything in between. It's a beautiful fragrance. For me, this one is a fall winter fragrance or a special occasion fragrance. I feel very dressed up when I wear it. I feel very put together. It's sophisticated. It's well made. It's elegant. It smells wonderful. It changes throughout the day, and it is just absolute gorgeousness in a bottle. And then I think around the middle of the decade, I also got introduced to Flower Bomb. This one I had dismissed initially when it came out because I thought it was too sweet and very similar to La Vie est Belle. This also reminded me of a scent similar to that a friend used to wear when I was in school, and I have talked about this scent memory a bit on my channel. And so I just had to get it. I love the dry down of Flower Bomb. It smells very warm and cozy and citrusy, very lemony and quite beautiful. I remember I was doing a part-time course at Berkeley late winter and early spring, and I wore this to my classes, and I also wore it during the train ride because I used to go to the city, and it just smelled really nice. It's spicy, it's pungent, it's sweet, it's floral, it is woody as well, and it has just a gorgeous dry down. And I love the trail, you know, so I would get whiffs of it throughout the day, and it smelled really, really nice. And at first I was worried that I might bother other people in the classroom, so I would spray it quite lightly, maybe just 1 or 2 sprays, because this is really quite strong. But because I had that long train ride, a lot of it would just calm down and not smell too much for others. I never heard anybody complain about it, so I'm thinking it must have been okay. Moving on to 2017, 2018, I got Chloe Eau de Parfum. So this is a fragrance that I didn't like initially as well. I might have a review on this from the time that I was first doing YouTube. This was quite talked about back then, very popular. Now no one talks about it, but it is still a really gorgeous fragrance. It's a beautiful rose, peony, woody rose fragrance. And the rose here is a very happy rose. It doesn't turn sour, it doesn't turn bitter. And it's one of the rare rose perfumes that work on me, and that's why I like it. And it's very long lasting, has enormous sillage, lot of projection. I did get quite a few compliments when I wore this one. And I think this is what I wore when I ran out of Chanel Eau Tendre. This became my go-to fragrance for work. And this is my second bottle, and I have used this one also quite a bit. This one is a very easy grab, inoffensive, very pleasing, very pleasant, put together kind of fragrance. And I think it's a very easy rose fragrance. For people who don't like rose fragrances, they might like this one. Next up is Chanel No. 5 L'Eau. I have talked about this one as well. This was love at first sniff. I absolutely love this fragrance. So this one is not just a modern take, it's also a very beautiful and very wearable take on No. 5. It's very woody and powdery, very light, very airy. It's very bright, citrusy, warm, refreshing fragrance. I mean, you know, it's one of those fragrances that is warm and refreshing at the same time. And which is why I love it. It's an all year fragrance for me, all occasion, all year. And it is also an easy grab. When I can't think of what to wear, I pick this one up. And you know, with Chanel, you're always going to be fine. So this is the fragrance that introduced me to Eau Première and No. 5. And I'm loving them both now. The next one that I wore a lot was Mitsuko. This is the fragrance that I wore off and on throughout the decade, more so in fall and winter, at work. And this is one of my forever love fragrances. This was absolutely outstanding. I've talked about it quite a bit. It's a beautiful, beautiful chypre. Starts out really well, ends really well. And I feel it kind of dances throughout the day and keeps me entertained. Sometimes I get the peach, sometimes I get the flowers, sometimes I get the woods, and sometimes it's the citruses. And it's just amazing. I feel special when I wear it. It is also a very comforting perfume for some reason. It's the kind of fragrance that draws the attention to itself. You know, there are other fragrances I wear, then I get busy along the day and I don't remember what I have on. I might get a whiff here and there, but I don't pause and think about them and appreciate them all the time. But this one, every single time I wear it, multiple times a day, I will take a moment, I will smell it, I will appreciate it, and I will have gratitude for those who created it, for my ability to have it and to appreciate it, and for my nose to function the way it is. So yeah, I do get carried away when I wear this one, but it is an outstanding fragrance, an absolute love and an absolute masterpiece. Another fragrance that I wore this decade or the last decade was Hypnose from Lancôme. Now this was love at first sniff for me for many years, but for some reason I never picked it up until last few years, and I have enjoyed this one quite a bit. It is supposed to be a nice bluish purple liquid, but mine has turned a bit old, but it smells still just fine. Now this is supposed to be an oriental fragrance, a lot of vanilla, a lot of vetiver, but what I get mostly is passion flower, vetiver and vanilla. And I also get some citruses in the opening, and it's absolutely stunning. I don't know why this one does not get talked about all that much, but it's a very gorgeous fragrance, very put together, very sophisticated. And it's also casual. It's an any occasion, any time kind of fragrance. You can wear it throughout the year. It is warm and cozy for the winter and fall, and it's quite fresh and sparkling for the hotter months. And so I think it's quite versatile. I love the bottle. Everything about it is so gorgeous. It's very long lasting. I smell it all day. And I also feel that it is very similar to the discontinued Maison Lancôme's La Vente Trianon. And I think because I had this, I never went for that one. It got discontinued and now it's sold out everywhere. And so I seek some comfort in knowing that I might have something similar to that one, if not exactly that, because I have this. So towards the end of the year, I also got into Jo Malone quite a bit. And I started out with the travel sprays of Orange Blossoms. As you can tell, I've used this one quite a bit. And Red Roses. And also I have Wood Sage and Sea Salt. I also had the travel size, but it's finished. So this one is a really gorgeous, aquatic, cool, herbal fragrance. And I remember I wore this one quite a bit when we would go to the beach side. I felt it went with the weather, the vibe. And this one also works in both the weathers, whether it's cold or it's hot. I felt it was refreshing, and I also felt it wasn't cozy or warm, but it kind of went with the beachy vibe when I would be at the beach and it would be freezing cold. Somehow this one still worked. I don't know, but it just did for me. And I think this one wore beautifully in a place like that. So it's really gorgeous. And the other two are Red Roses. This one I've talked about as well. It's a really beautiful rose fragrance, the very fresh green roses, quite sweet, very long lasting, enormous sillage. I get compliments when I wear this one. Very natural roses, and this one is a very natural orange blossom. I really like that Jo Malone is able to capture the natural fragrance of the flowers and whatever it is that they use, and they blend it so beautifully. And seeing how quickly these bottles were going down, I did order a bigger size for them both, and these are also going to always remain in my collection. So that was it, guys. These were some of the fragrances that I wore in the past decade. Of course, there are a lot more, and I should have stuck to just 10, but I couldn't. So I hope that's going to be okay. Do let me know what fragrances you wore in the last decade. And if you have any events or any memories attached to them, I would love to hear that as well in the comments below. So please write to me and let me know what those fragrances are. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel. Remember to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.